What the fuck is this? For anyone who didn't like Season 8 of Game of Thrones, HBO has something special for you. Chernobyl is a 5-part historical drama about the disaster that happened in the Chernobyl power plant. For anyone who needs a historical refresher, Chernobyl is where the power plant had a meltdown. And when I mean by meltdown, I mean it exploded like Mount St. Helens. Radioactive material spewed out for hundreds of miles, and the place ended up looking kind of like the glowing sea from Fallout 4. We follow Valerie, a nuclear physicist that was brought in to aid the cleanup effort, played by Jared Harris. I like Jared Harris as an actor, but Valerie in the show, he doesn't have much personality. He's just a very smart scientist, and he seems like a scientist in an internal state of anxiety. That's basically his character in the show. I feel like if they would have fleshed out his character a little bit more and gave him a background story, it would make his story more tragic, but because they don't do that, and he just kind of comes off as just like this random smart guy that just kind of gets tossed in the mix of this, you don't feel for him as much as you should. His two primary positions as a character in the show is, one, to give exposition for all the things that are happening in the show. You know, you kind of have to know what a nuclear power plant does for you to even understand what's going on. So he explains a lot in the show. He's one of the explainer characters. His explanations for everything is very interesting. Everything is very interesting, and you want to know more about the nuclear situation at hand. His secondary purpose in the show is to be the voice of reason in the show. It's almost like everybody just doesn't know what's actually going on, and he's the one to tell everyone. He also has bright gems that he likes to throw at people, like, hey, don't look over that ledge into the uranium that is pouring out of the reactor. Things like that. Stuff that most people would be like, yeah, I'm probably going to stay away from that, but he has to go off and tell everyone, hey, don't do that, don't do this. Basic stuff like that. Okay. I really like this show. It has a lot of suspense in it, and it also kind of, I don't know how you'd say it, it gives you that morbid curiosity. It kind of like, almost like watching two trains collide. You know what's going to happen, and you know it's going to be a shit show, but you still want to watch it happen. I don't know. It's that curiosity that nobody really likes to say that they have, but everyone does. Not only does the show quench your morbid curiosity, but it also dives into the atmosphere and the culture of the USSR in 1985. It's very distinct, and I really like it. Like in the first episode, they mentioned that the USSR's power doesn't derive from its military or its expertise. It comes from its perceived power. And I really like how they explain that in this show, and they also give the atmosphere of that. Because of that, there's a lot of propaganda and espionage pushed by the government. So it makes the characters really have to deal with a lot of bullshit. While all that's going on, they also have to fight with the government, you know, with all the cover-ups and things like that, all the propaganda. And they have to do all that while dealing with the radiation at the same time, which gives the main characters a really big task to overcome. It makes the show feel like an anxiety-filled documentary about a nuclear disaster as well as dealing with an authoritarian state, and I really enjoyed it. Personally, I really like the show, and I would give the show a 10 out of 10. It goes exactly the length that it needs to go. It has 5 episodes, and there's all meat, no fillers. So you get exactly what you need, you get the dose that you want, you get through all the steps of Chernobyl and exactly what happened, you get the explanations, you get the authoritarian state stuff. It's just like an all-encompassing great show. There's no problems with it, I would consider. Maybe you could say there's not as much character development, but personally for me, the characters are kind of like in the background to begin with. The main point of the show is the disaster at hand, and kind of the human will to go ahead and stop exactly what's going on. The show really encompasses all the sacrifices the people had to go through to stop the radiation and the Chernobyl disaster in general. And I really like that. It shows the whole scope of humanity in the show. It shows the evil side with the authoritarian government. It shows the good side and the sacrifices people were willing to go in the radiation and actually help out and fix the situation at hand. It shows the whole broad spectrum of humanity. And I think that's really where the show is trying to... That's what the message of the show is humanity in all its forms. And I really liked it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. It's amazing. I'm going to leave this review off with a quote from the show. To be a scientist is to be naive. We are so focused on reaching the truth, but we fail to consider how few actually want us to find it. I love it. And that encompasses the show exactly what it's meant for. If you guys really like the show, please comment below. Tell me how you felt about the show. I really enjoyed it personally. If you guys could possibly like, share, and subscribe, that would be great. I know the YouTube algorithms are just all over the place and the adpocalypse and all that shit. Please help me out. I would really like it. I'm going to be making more reviews and more YouTube videos. So guys, keep following me so you can subscribe and you'll go ahead and see more YouTube and high quality content just like I did today, hopefully. God damn it. Shit. I'm going to keep it like that. I don't give a fuck. See ya, bye.